Hey, Shalom.
He had it.
First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father in Paleo Ancient Hebrew, and to Yahweh Shai, when you ignorantly call Jesus Christ his name in Paleo Ancient Hebrew. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to you brothers that preach, teach, and prophesy this word in truth and sincerity as we put our lives on the line in these last days to bring you this raw and this uncut truth. It's the brother Ariaga from the Grand Rapids, Michigan camp, here with another nifty lesson. All right. And as this continues to escalate, the disorder, the public disorder, one of the things that we've been saying for years, um, and Great Millstone, the brothers of Great Millstone, starting with the apostles on down, um, um, brothers here in this camp in Grand Rapids, Michigan. One thing we've been saying for years, man, is, they got all of these different plans implemented, all these different devices, and these hidden agendas, these different police brutality cases, and they're trying to get Jake to uprise, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Natives. But the best way to cause civil unrest and disorder is to go after the food supply. That's the number one way to get to Jake, man. All right, because what happened in the wilderness when we was in the wilderness of Sin after leaving out of Egypt, you know, Jake was mad, man. They was ready to overthrow, act a fool out there in the wilderness, just remembering all the dainty things that they had when they were back in Egypt. And now this America is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, Babylon, daughter of Babylon, actually. Um, the new Roman Empire is all of these things combined into one, right? And as we look up and we see the civil unrest building, it's basically everything is coming to a head from them bringing all these different migrants in, right? Which are actually a good amount of them are being groomed to be UN troops. That's why they brought them over here. To people just having issues, and especially when it's the politics that are dividing them, the Biden voters versus the Trump voters, and a lot of those Biden voters are starting to go over on the Trump side. And a lot of people used to think, oh, Trump can't get back in. I was thinking, shit, I knew, somebody was going to get back in to turn this up. I thought it might have been Kamala or something like that. Lord knows. That would have been a damn disaster. Either way, it's going to be a shit show. But, you know, getting Trump back in there and seeing how the people rally behind him, these Edomites, they love him. I was looking at that one rally that they had, basically the largest rally anybody ever had, in history. There was so many people at this, like I think like 100,000, or it was thousands. You know what I'm saying? At this last rally that Trump had. So it's a lot of things that's happening, and people are basically choosing their sides. But one of the decisive measures that you will definitely see come down the line is this famine. Um, Even these middle class Edomites are feeling it. You know, that middle class is living paycheck to paycheck now. Back when they used to live comfortable lifestyles, they're basically honorary 99 percenters, basically, because that's what they want, is 99% to have nothing, and the 1% elites to basically have all the wealth. Um, so you see this civil unrest growing in the eyes of the people, and they think Trump is going to save them. When he's going to come in and he slide in, he's left the back door open for all of these other FEMA organizations to basically be the country basically be signed over into FEMA's hands, when He was in his presidency. He sat back and signed all of that stuff over to FEMA. So, you know, for him to come back in now and seeing how you have all these issues with the food supplies. Now they got, the chicken, what is that, the bird flu? Somehow cows are catching bird flu, which makes no goddamn sense, you know. Um, and, you have these designer diseases allegedly wiping out the birds and the cattle, and they having to destroy these livestock. That's what they're getting the people accustomed to, is not being able to eat meat. That's going to be a privilege only set aside for the elites. Okay, and so you can see where this is going, and it's going that fast as the economy continues to turn belly up and the people grow more and more uneasy, let's say. Things are turning around in the favor of the men of the Lord because these curses are starting to go on to this devil and coming off of us. So um, the worst things get on this side in this kingdom, for this kingdom, the better it gets for the men of the Lord. But it's a lot of hell and turmoil that's mixed in there that we all must go through to endure to the end. Let's get it.
Anything to say to the American people that are struggling right now to pay their bill? Joe Biden was asked by ABC News if he had anything to say to the American people that are struggling right now to pay their bills, their rent, their car payments, their house payments, the interest rates on their car loans and their home loans. You know what he said? He said, "Oh yeah, Americans have the money. They just don't want to spend it on the higher prices." This fool has no idea what Americans are even fucking going through. No, Joe, we don't have the money. We spent all the money you gave away. The $1.5 trillion that you took out and printed to give everybody for COVID is gone. Nobody was able to invest that and make money off of it. It was spent. And now everybody's living paycheck to paycheck. Latinos are, black people are, white people are. And you're sitting around in Delaware telling us we all have money and that we don't understand what we're fucking going through? No, you don't understand, and I'm not sure if it's you're unable to cognitively understand, but you need to go.
Yeah, man. These people are getting pissed off. All right, that sedition is growing amongst men. All right, this is Haggai 1 and 6. You have sown much. That sow, when you sow, is you're working, Got a lot of people out here that's toiling and working hard, put in a lot of hours, right? And bring in little. A lot of people shoot, and even now they're talking about in certain areas they already have taken up the minimum wage to $20 in places like McDonald's, and that's because the cost of living, like in places like New York and California, is so high, right? But at the end of the day, once they increase those wages, one of the things it does is it causes the food that people are coming to eat at these places, these chemicals, because it's not food, the prices on it increase. And as those prices increase, then they're going to be asking, to have their wages increase even more. See, it's a debt-based society, and it thrives off of making its people go into debt. So you are constantly a financial slave to the system. And as long as they can keep you on perpetual debt, these IOUs, at the end of the day, you are working harder and harder to pay those dues off. It's like a slave, a servant, an indentured slave. No, that's what employee means anyway. But it says, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. And ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Yeah, like he said, ain't nobody, look, they sending all this money to Ukraine and Israel. Ukraine, they sent like 60 billion or something like that. You know, I don't know, it was 60 or 600. It was a crazy number. But the point in being, it was the biggest aid package, that the U.S. has ever sent out. And two biggest charity cases is number one, Israel, and number two, Ukraine, right? And those are strategic footholds. That's why they pay so much to basically keep these places up and running because they know
and make money off of it. It was spent. And now
because they know it's detrimental to keep those strategic footholds in these portions of the world against Russia and against Iran. But ultimately, it's going to be, what base Russia into this war, leading into the Third World War. Right now, we are, basically in the phase of the rumors of wars, and these different families are building up. Okay.
now everybody's living paycheck to.
Yeah, and we've been living paycheck to paycheck, but check this out.
Dollar Tree closing 600 stores this year. CVS closing 900 stores through the end of this year. Walgreens closing 150 stores. Outback Steakhouse has already closed 40 of its restaurants. UPS is cutting 12,000 jobs in 2024. Citigroup cutting 20,000 positions as well. eBay, why not? 1,000 jobs lost there. Microsoft cutting 1,900 positions. Expedia cutting 1,500. Cisco cutting 4,000. Apple cutting 600. It's entertainment too. Regal Cinemas closing 429 locations. Kroger's grocery store chain shutting down 413 stores. It's not affordable to be in retail anymore. Foot Locker closing 400 stores by 2026. Macy's will close 150 locations by 2026. Walmart, already this year, has closed 6 of its supercenters. While the U.S. Senate has passed nearly $100 billion to send to other countries that Joe Biden just signed yesterday, most can't even find Ukraine or Israel on a freaking map, let alone Taiwan. We're paying money. Dollar Tree closing 600 stores this.
Yeah, she's correct. That's how this place is finished because they're putting more into, this war campaign than putting it into their own kingdom. They put it into other kingdoms that are newly joined to their kingdom just to continue to make them strategic footholds in the regions near their enemies' outposts, and really that's hustling backwards because if you can't take care of home, it's easier for a coup to happen. This is why they're moving in these foreign troops right now, these UN troops. They're slowly, but surely placing them amongst the people of each city because I just saw an article headline a brother put up. And it was saying how, they sending these foreign troops all over the U.S. in preparation for a civil war because they say over 40% of the population believes that, are angry and they believe in that we're going to go into another civil war. All right. So, I mean, the facts are out there and it's right before your eyes. It makes too much sense as to why they would do it. Problem, reaction, solution. Oh, we got these Israelites, man. They starting to wake up. What can we do? Call civil unrest. Go ahead and get ready for this mark of the beast. Yep, it's time. Like the Most High is putting it back against the wall. That's why the scriptures say the devil have it but a short time. Because now that we're waking up, not just here in America, but on the four corners of the globe, it's an issue. So now they know they got to go ahead and get this plan kicked off. No more lollygagging. This is Second Ezra 6:15-5. Behold, saith Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, I will bring plagues upon the world the sword, famine, death, and destruction. One thing is for sure, all of these things are taking place at once. There's a lot of death going on in the Middle East, soon to be here in America, in the West. Famine cutting through large swaths of Africa and in the Middle East as well. These man-made famines, right? Because Israel, what they're doing to the Palestinians. I just saw a video of them, some Israelis stop a convoy that was carrying crucial aid for the people in Gaza, and the regular people stopped it. These Israelis stopped it. They took all the stuff off the truck and smashed the aid, throwing it, destroying it. You know what I'm saying? So this famine has already begun on a large scale, on a worldwide scale. People are being affected in different ways all across the earth. And it says, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole world, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. This is a real evil place, you know? And one thing is for sure, I was looking at this video. It was a portal that they had. It's called a portal, some art exhibit where it's live stream, looks like a big mirror or whatever, a big portal hole, and it's always live streaming between New York and Dublin, Ireland, right? And they had to cut it down for a minute because people kept coming on there, women showing their titties, men showing their asses, and people bumping coke and showing September 11th on phones from Dublin, like people going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Just doing all kind of lewd shit. And it was like, damn, the whole art exhibit, it ruined it because everybody's full of wickedness all across the globe, man. It said, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Their hurtful works are fulfilled. And one major beneficiary or key foundational elements of that wickedness is democracy. Communism, all of them, but democracy got it beat because one of the things it does is, it liberates people and countries from their customs. And they tell them it's okay because under the democratic power, they try to tell them that, with the aid of the U.S. government, you can be anything you want to be. Men could be women could be men, children. They can they letting people be dogs and get married to cats, and they just passed a law where, in America, where you can in certain states, man, you can get married to your own family members. I'm talking about like mom, dad, and children. Like, man, you want to talk about a wicked ass place, man. So yeah, like it says, wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, right? So therefore, thus saith the Most High, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me. The souls of the just complain continually. Right, because you got brothers out here like the men of the Lord who do this truth and sincerity. You know what I'm saying? We complain every day, man. So we're seeing something that really make us grit our teeth every single day, especially when you get out to this world. And now you don't have to. It'll come to you. You'll see all these commercials and homosexuals kissing and passing all these legislations and laws, and you see women are fighting, continuously so they can get abortions whenever they want. My body, my choice, and then all this crazy shit. I mean, everything is out of whack, man. All right. It says, therefore, saith the Most High, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they have profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold the innocent. Right, and that's what they're doing right now. It says, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. No man perish being innocent, as the scriptures say. So, it's going to be a lot of You see death increasing already. How much more so as we continue to move forward into this new world order agenda and the mark of the beast is right here around the corner. You know, when it says, "Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me." Like I said, the men of the Lord, we constantly sending up prayers every day, ready to go, ready to get up out of here, ready for that judgment to come upon this place, and that the Lord will rescue us and our families and our loved ones. You know, when we praying hard and earnestly, man, you know, we complain to the Most High every day, man. That's why it's necessary to pray every day. Like MC Hammer said, you know, it said, and therefore says the Most High, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And it's not just talking about the regular Egypt over there. It's talking in general about being in these places of bondage that we've been scattered to after the destruction of Jerusalem and after the northern tribes came into the Americas. You know, we were on to a whole new world. But the present day Egypt, not gonna all people just go back, start going to Egypt with joined at the border with the Palestinians. Like, nah, understand that this is a place of bondage. America is a major place, and history continually repeats itself because it's the same spirits, souls, if you will, coming back in their lot in their circus. I mean, it's not circus, in their lot in their circuit, because you know a circuit is something continuous, it's connected. You know what I'm saying? Or the circle of life, as they would say, right? Um, But yeah, like I said, behold, my people are led as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And these cats don't even realize they being led to slaughter. So they taking these sides, and they, you know, um, a lot of the people are choosing who they want to ride with. You know, they're forced to make a decision between Biden and Trump, Republican, Democrat, Catholic, Muslim. Excuse me. It's a real divisive spirit that's amongst the world, let alone Israel right now. Okay. And I mean that as Israel, like these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, which make up the true 12 tribes of Israel, right? Even to this, right? Because the shit that you consume.
Every time I go to America, I dread that experience. In 1 week, I put on a pound. If I spend 2 weeks in the United States, even if I'm eating the exact same foods I'm eating here in Europe, I put on a pound a week. When I come back to Europe, I immediately start shedding weight. Here in Europe, I drink very little. I eat a ton of bread. I love carbs. I love the pasta here. I do not put on weight. As soon as I set foot in any state in the United States, I start getting bloated. Well, you are surrounded by pesticides and herbicides at much higher levels. The water quality in the U.S. is lower. What's going on there is you're not actually putting on a pound of fat. You're putting on a pound of inflammation. It's hard to put a pound of fat on in 1 week. Your cells, instead of turning that air and food into electricity and heat, they were turning it into inflammation. And then as soon as you came back here and you cleared the toxins, then you felt better. One of the reasons that I can live in the US and I can be as lean and fit as I am is that I upregulated all of my detox pathways so that I can handle the toxic environment that the government in the US created for us.
Right. And that's a toxic environment, definitely. So when we talk about this famine, it was a video I got. All right, this is the video I want to show real quick. I'm gonna let this one play because it's about 5 minutes. I might play the whole thing. I don't know, but I definitely wanted to play this one. So let's get straight to it.
Here's what we know. The elite plan to kick off the food shortage in Europe, which is historically one of the best fed regions in the whole world. When the dominoes begin to fall and the consequences for the rest of the world kick in, the globe will be plunged into a devastating famine that will make 9/11 and the COVID pandemic look like child's play. The elite have been building up to this moment since the dying days of the COVID pandemic. Bill Gates suddenly moved into farming, quickly becoming America's biggest landowner. And we've been dealing with a spate of food production fires across the US and Europe, placing stress on the supply chain. Here are 5 of the most disturbing future events outlined in detail by the global elite during their wargaming event in the heart of the EU last month. First, they're planning to engineer harvest failures. And so, it's 2025 and there are more harvest failures, the report states. They impact animal feed prices, which curbs livestock and fish production. Some ships carrying crops turn away from Europe to cater to higher bidders elsewhere. Anyone who's been listening to the protesting European farmers will understand that the upcoming famine is being engineered by the elites as we speak. The WEF's green agenda policies, adopted by EU states, are driving farmers out of business. Second, they're planning to cut palm oil exports and blame conspiracy theorists for the fallout. Asia's palm oil export limits are now reducing supplies of daily staples from margarine to bread. Allegations of corporate greed, disinformation, and conspiracy theories are spreading. Of course, the elite are already planning to blame so-called conspiracy theorists and disinformation for the global food shortage. Third, they're planning to exacerbate the fertilizer shortage even more, causing grocery prices to skyrocket. The cost of fertilizers and energy needed to grow crops and keep glasshouses running soared in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. When they're not blaming so-called conspiracy theorists for the global famine, they're going to blame Putin, their favorite boogeyman. Fourth, they're planning to stoke widespread chaos in the streets. Things unravel further later in 2025, the report warns. Thieves are looting supermarkets. Police struggle to contain riots spreading in cities. People in Germany can't find fish and meat at grocery stores. Livestock farmers are going bankrupt. The global elite have earmarked 2025 for full societal breakdown, as common people starve to death and lash out at those who've subjected them to living in open-air prisons. Fifth, they are preparing to deal with widespread anger directed at the elites. Meanwhile, the public's focus shifts to profiteering by commodity traders. Small farms fall like dominoes, while attacks on immigrants begin to become more widespread. Is the EU a sinking ship? Someone asks in the video.
I don't know how it will play out in November, but what we know is that we will end up with...
This fucking devil Klaus Schwab, man. Well, most likely gonna have his ass going to slavery, man.
Any more unemployed, and particularly also people in the grey economy, which are not counted for, who lose their jobs. So we will see definitively a lot of anger already now, but probably increase by the end of the year, because this crisis will be with us until we really have found a remedy. So we have to prepare for a more angry world, and how to prepare? It means to take the necessary action.
According to Schwab, the appropriate action involves depopulating the vast majority of the world. Up to 94% of humanity must be killed, according to Schwab's disciples. But before the Great Cull, elite wargame participants all agreed that humanity must be weaned off meat and forced to eat bugs, and Bill Gates' carcinogenic synthetic fake beef. Why would the elite wage war on those who provide our food?
Why would you come after the most hardworking sector, the most lucrative sector, the people that provide you with food? Why would you shut down your nuclear plants if you are to import electricity for I don't know how much more the price? Why? And I think it was Carl Jung actually who said, if you can't understand someone's actions, you have to look at the consequences and infer the motive. If the consequences of their policies are that we become poorer, if we become poorer, we become more dependent on them. We basically essentially would starve if this is put through, and we don't have the financial means anymore to import our food. And, I don't know, God forbid a disaster happens, we've outsourced everything, we could be in real trouble. Well, if those are the consequences, then apparently that's the motive. These people are the net zero scam, and I would really call it a scam. Is something
it's a criminal scam.
Yes,
it's actually,
scam.
It's not just a scam.
It is criminal, and I think that it is of the worst type of injustice if a government and the people are supposed to represent us, talking about democracy, liberal democracy and all, if those people turn their backs on their own population, and not just turn their backs, but actively, again, go against their interests and allow them, essentially, if things go wrong, to become poor and to starve. I see true evil behind these acts. I don't just see incompetence anymore.
More and more people are waking up and seeing the global elite for what they've always been. deranged psychopaths intent on destruction and domination. Hearing the people's voice, we are determined to continue exposing the crime.
Yeah, that's what we do. We expose it. How? Through these scriptures, man. And this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The beginning of famine and great death. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? That's the question. If you don't have faith, see, if your faith isn't being tested and sharpened and built up right now, when these things fall upon the majority of the people, it's going to tear their asses up for the one major reason. Because your faith wasn't tested. It wasn't tempered. You weren't purified through the flames of adversity. You weren't built up in these times through chastisement of the Lord to be able to endure the afflictions that are soon to come. You know, and they always use the analogy of boiling a frog slow. All these frogs are being boiled slow. These people being boiled slow like frogs, and by the time it realizes that it's too hot, it's too late. Can't move. The nerve endings are burnt out. Only thing you can do is sit there and cook your own juices. All right. Like it said right there, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? You don't know the Heavenly Father's name, Yahweh, and his son's name, Yahweh Shai, and you're not calling on those names and truth and sincerity, and doing your best to get your household in order and keep your garments white, your spiritual garments white, man, and rehearsing the righteous acts. Yo, man, it's going to be a wrap for the ass. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for men. Yeah, we are in that time of tribulation because they already outlawing the Bible in many places. 5 states were burning the Bible because they found out through Putin, you know, which we've been coming out with that through the Russian icons. When he released it, these people saw, you know, on an international scale in a way, it's just not just some so-called crazy niggas and Latinos, spics and shit in their minds that's just bringing out the truth anymore. It's another so-called white man, and it blew their mind, you know, to the point where they felt all these niggers in the Bible, we might as well just burn it up. Yeah, because as long as God's white, as they said in Goodbye Uncle Time, God's white. And as long as God's white, the white man bears the right to rule. Well, that philosophy being true, as this place is continually unraveling, that's circling the drain, like George Carlin said, like the rest of this country. It says, but for all of these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right. They still gonna be on some wicked shit. Still on some wickedness, man. Still ain't even trying to clean their act up. You know what I'm saying? I want to show this right here. Check this out. Because this right here was a trip. When I saw this, I was like, oh yeah. I mean, we already knew this place is, you know, finito, but this shit was funny, right?
Had to use my wife's sales yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Did she give you a tip?
The one that gave me $25 tip?
Yeah, she said she gave you a big tip.
Yeah, she did.
I need that back.
Why? She gave it to me.
We're running low on money and she shouldn't have even gotten the sales tip, much less give you a tip.
That's weird, but I'm not going to do that.
I'm
Because
gonna need the tip back, bro.
I can't. She gave it to me. You didn't give it to me.
So how do you want to do this? I'm gonna get it back one way or the other.
Well, why don't you bring your wife in here and she can talk to me about it?
She's not coming back in here. I had to get my wife's nails yesterday.
Hold on just a second. Okay, apologies. Let's pick that back up.
Give it to me. You didn't give it to me.
So how do you want to do this? I'm going to get it back one way or the other.
Well, why don't you bring your wife in here and she can talk to me about it?
She's not coming back in here. She's going to try to get more money from her.
Well, you should have
the money back.
You should have came in yesterday with her.
I was busy. I worked making my own money.
So why do you need the $25 bag if you're making your own money?
Because we don't make enough. And she's in here giving it away.
That's not my problem.
But are you the guy that is my
I'm glad he stood up to that. Like, man, you got me fucked up. You devil. Yeah, now because your ass is grinding at the bottom. You gonna come in here about with your wife, you want to pay 20. We can do this one. Well, sir, we just gonna have to do it whatever the fuck way because shit, that $25 is for me. Cause I did the work. Unless you gonna make her go back in time and we can reverse all that work I did on our hands and that tip that I earned. Shit. These devils, man, he is proud. These devils was proud. Even in their lowest hour, they proud, man. But that go back to but for second Ezra second Ezra 16 and 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. All right. Behold, victuals shall be good, cheap upon the earth, and they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. It's gonna come a time where these women ain't. Hey, I understand that Edomite is saying, but oh well, it's said and done. You got to chalk that L up. Gonna come a time where these women ain't gonna be going out of here getting no nails done and shit. That's gonna be dead. That's that's something that that's a luxury. That shit is gonna be out the window in just a second. Like, please believe that. Look at this.
Don't worry about it. I've been up for 4 hours getting down here. Yeah, y'all be down. That nigga 16 years old out here doing the right thing. I ain't got to fuck you no matter, man. I need some help. I ain't got no food in my house, man. When the nigga call y'all don't answer the phone. Talk about no goddamn police, man.
Yeah, you see Jake on the edge, man. Yeah, because you getting out here, you busting your hump, and it's still ain't able to get no food. So then they forced to go to the food stamp office and get some of these just government assistance, and they still playing with you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that unrest is building, dog. Is building up. All right, I'm telling you, man. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Boy, so it's gonna be something that you can't escape. It's a wrap, dog. It's not gonna You ain't gonna be able to just escape this. Oh yeah, I got away from this hunger, and then some cats run up in your shit and kill you because you got all the food. I escaped the hunger, the famine, and turned around and got killed by the sword. Or these government troops, these FEMA troops, or whatever. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, and the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it, right? And as you saw with the Monsantos and all of that, and all the chemicals they putting into the soil, like she was saying, this place is finished, man. It has to be cleansed by fire because it can never be productive again. All the bloodshed that's been spilt on this place and that will be spilt in this time and this time of Jacob's trouble that we're coming into. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tend them? For all places shall be desolate of men. so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of the city there shall be 10 left, two in the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, they got them bunkers and all that shit, you know, especially in those mountains and these different places, and they think themselves to be in good condition. We're gonna get the hell away from all of this shit. We're gonna be straight. Okay. And in the orchards of olives, even it's like as in the orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives. Or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some cluster of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days, there shall be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Right, what they searching for? They ain't searching for searching to see if you got cable TV. They ain't searching for Pokemon Go, Pokemon, legendary Pokemon. They coming there looking for some resources, man. All right. And the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old in her ways, and her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel through it. Ain't gonna be no more cats out there, that lawn care and these different cutting the shrubs and mowing the lawns and shit, mowing, got the lawn care companies pulling up hired by people. That shit is gonna be dead. Shit is gonna be overgrown. Nobody gonna be out in them streets, man. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, and women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right. So this is where in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. What war? These third world wars, the Civil War, um, um, you know, Jacob's trouble. Them bringing out that RFID microchip, that mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Hearing all these things and understand them, ye servants of the Most High. Behold, the word of the Lord receive it, because not the gods of whom Yahweh spake. So he says, believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. So you get caught up in worshiping this system. That's what that mark of the beast is anyway, is taking a pledge to this system just to be fed. Check this out. Wait, there's more. Let's say, because see, there's a certain sect of people that will be in good condition. You see what I'm saying? So it's not too bad for everybody. All right. Let's see. All right. This is Isaiah 65:11. But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forgot my holy mountain, that prepare a table for their troop, and that furnish a drink offering unto their number. Yeah, because there's a certain set of people that are set aside to be destroyed when this stuff pops off, man. Most High is going to get 2/3 of our people out of here. Majority of these nations. Yeah, you're going to start seeing deaths to the left and the right hand side of you, to the point where you would have to acknowledge that this is an act of the Most High. It says, therefore, the FEMA troops coming door to door, them UN troops, you know what I'm saying? Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. And this is that word. Y'all didn't delight in this word. Y'all delighted in things of the world and out here shaking your ass and being homosexuals and getting rich or die trying. And you just doing everything wicked as hell under the sun, man. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So it's gonna be a lot of these cats that's proud as hell right now, driving in their Lambos, and these hoes that look fine as hell and shit. Just Nigga, I don't eat at Cheesecake Factory and all of this other bullshit. That's fine. Because in a minute, like it says right there, his servants are the ones that's going to be eating. And it says, but she shall be ashamed. All right. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but she shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Right. So get ready for that howling, boy. Y'all gonna be out here looking like some hound dogs. All right. So, hey, you ain't heard yet. You done heard now. You better get yourself and your household in order. Because things are about to change drastically overnight. And when they do, it ain't gonna never be the same again. And it's only gonna get worse to the point where the righteous shall scarcely be saved, like the scripture says. All right. So with that, pray you are edified, stay circumspect, do your works, do your research. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. So seek the kingdom of heaven first, and all other things shall be added unto you. Shalom.